Hey, everybody. I am Eric J. Olson with Array Digital. It's been at least, it feels like a week, but really it feels more like a month since I've done one of these interviews. I was out of town this past week, and so I kind of had to clear my schedule, but I'm back now, and we are broadcasting for another live interview for the Managing Partners podcast. So today I have the pleasure of talking with Adam Rossen. Hey, Adam, how's it going?
Hey, it's going very well, Eric. How are you doing?
Fantastic. Well, I appreciate you making the time to be with us. Let me tell the audience a little bit about you. An award-winning attorney, Adam Rossen has grown his firm, Rossen Law Firm, from a solo practice in 2015 to 12 employees in 2021. Now, this next part I love. Adam doubled down on marketing during the early days of COVID, and that propelled his growth into one of the largest criminal and DUI defense law firms in South Florida. Welcome to the show, Adam.
Thanks for having me. I'm super excited to be here.
Well, tell us about the early days of COVID. What was happening in your state, in your industry, in your firm?
Yeah, of course. So, we're South Florida. So, well, Florida in general, right? They have Florida man, Florida woman, crazy things go on down here. And, criminal defense and DUI defense was hit extremely hard. When the bars shut down, when people stop being social, we're done. Proactive policing. If there's no proactive policing, we're done. If police officers are told, don't arrest anybody for DUI unless it's a car crash, unless it's serious, unless somebody's almost dead, our practice area dried up virtually overnight. So rewind to March 2020, we were at 6 employees at that time, 2 lawyers, we had 3 paralegals and and one in-house marketer, and 2 of our paralegals were only with us for 60 days. And I'm not that old. I just turned 40 this year, but I think I've been around long enough and just kind of have observed trends and people right across different industries, whether it's the stock market, whether it's just business, right, marketing. And I sat to myself and I said, well, while everybody's freaking out and panicking, while everybody is laying people off, I'm like, what kind of leadership is that? I was a high school basketball coach for over 10 years, and that taught me a lot. By no means am I perfect. I'm getting better every day, but I really thought about it and said, well, I need to show leadership here for my team. The easy thing would have just fire the 2 or lay off the 2 newbies. So I said, you know what? Okay, phone's going to stop ringing for a little bit. Now, I was concerned, but we basically turned them into marketing assistants. And we had a bunch of content projects that we wanted to do. And of course, like anything, it's, this might take us 12 months or a long time. And I said, you know what? We're going to do it. And we're only going to have 1 paralegal on legal work for the time being, and just, figure it out. And we did. And over about, I'd say 4 months, we had about 50,000 words of content that we wrote and published. And, some of the things that we did didn't really work or didn't really move the needle. But a lot of the digital that we did, yeah, it helped tremendously. I thought that within a few months, there would be, especially South Florida, people would want to go out to the bars and people would start raging and partying. And I also foresaw a huge mental health and substance abuse crisis coming out of this. So we just doubled and tripled down and just started pumping content out like crazy because, we were bored and had nothing to do. Courts were shut down. And my firm's we're not the type to plea clients out over Zoom just because we didn't want to have a bloated case count. So we continue to fight and defend people. And, we weren't trying to get rid of cases. We were trying to, help our clients, right? And also just, build the business. And it helped us tremendously.
I love the story. We did the same thing. So for us, it was March 16th. That's when we really felt the impact of COVID. And we started getting phone calls from our clients saying, cancel this or postpone that.
That was a Monday.
And that went on for about.
My birthday was Sunday the 15th. No, but I know my birthday was Sunday, and I'm like, what's going to happen next week?
And wasn't it weird because like the Friday before, It sounds like you were in the same state of mind as me. The Friday before is when the president declared a national emergency in Virginia, where I'm at. The governor shut down schools for 2 weeks. So like on Friday, it's like, oh wow, this thing's real. And then everyone just took the weekend off. And then on Monday, bam, it all hit. So for us, it was about 2 days of kind of panic, and everyone thought the world was coming to an end. Either because they were going to die from COVID, or because business was just going to just stop, right? And we felt the same way for about 2 days. And then on the third day, I was like, you know what? This is ridiculous. Like, we need to go into offensive mode here. Like, this is a great opportunity. And so we did the exact same thing you did, which is we doubled down on our marketing. We just started pumping out more and more social media and writing blog posts and videos. And it seems to have worked. And, the thing is, for us, the lesson learned for me was, I shouldn't have to wait for an emergency like that to hit before I do something to really push my business forward. Did you kind of feel the same way in retrospect?
Yeah. Oh yeah. I learned so much. Just like I was saying before, I kind of sit back and try to observe and learn from everything. And that's one of the big things, and I learned that action, right? There's so many people that talk about it. And especially us lawyers, we are trained to get to know, to tell or all the reasons why we couldn't or shouldn't do anything. And one of our core values in our firm is get to yes. And that is my favorite of the core values. And it's just figure out a way. And exactly like you were saying, don't wait on the sideline. Let's go. Let's do something. Take action. And actually, take action is another one of our core values. So it's that's our third, and get to yes is our fifth. And we have corresponding animals for each core value. So it's pretty cool. It makes everybody know how to easily remember it. But exactly, and that's yes, we had a very nice firm before. We were growing, but the action that we took, and just not fear is good if it can motivate you to do something about it. But just to sit back and always think or plan or woe is me, it's not going to work. It's not the right mindset to have. So I've learned tremendously from it, and I try to be a forever learner and learn every day.
And but before we click the button to go live, you and I were chit chatting a little bit, and you mentioned EOS, the Entrepreneurial Operating System,
right?
Which I don't hear that a lot from the lawyers that we interview. And I also don't hear like the correlation between things like, I hear core values, but I don't hear the correlation between core values and like animals. I forget where that came from. I don't know if it's EOS or somewhere else, but I've picked up on that before. It sounds like you're fairly well read, and you've researched a lot of these business topics. Have you always been like that?
No, I haven't. So actually, I started my firm in 2008 with my old partner. And I was 26 years old, left the state attorney's office, and our goal was just to survive. When a bunch of our friends, behind our back said, "Oh, you'll be back in 6 months, 9 months, 3 months. How long will it be?" And we got to a point where we just survived, and we really didn't do any marketing, didn't have any growth. And when my partner came to me in 2015 and said he wanted to split the firm, and we're still very good friends to this day. And he does now mostly immigration. So he's the lawyer that we send all of our immigration stuff to, or a lot of the immigration stuff to. And then I was like, okay, well, I don't have my buddy. I don't have my safety blanket. I got to figure this out. So I just started immersing myself in it and found that I actually liked it. And so I didn't really have that growing up so much. I didn't have that for the first 7-8 years of my legal career, but I feel like it was always somewhere dormant inside. And then once I got exposed to it, it just came out and kind of blossomed. And now I love it, and I'm very interested in it.
Yep. Have you? How far into EOS have you gotten? Like, do you have KPIs?
So we do. Look, we're getting better at it every day. So I read Traction 3 years ago and was like, wow, this is too hard. The firm's too small. We were 3 people at the time. And then when we had some real growth starting last year, third and fourth quarter, after the COVID shutdown, after basically what we did, I'm like, okay, well, I'll implement it ourselves. We'll start it. And I went to a one-day seminar about it, and I was like, I'm not doing this. You know what? It's an investment. I'm going to get an
Yeah.
EOS certified implementer.
Yeah.
It's a ton of money. It is, but it's an investment, not a cost. And so we started with ours with Caesar, who's out of Miami, who's amazing. And we started with
Quinteros?
him. Yes, Caesar Quintero. You know Caesar?
I do very well.
Okay.
Yeah, great guy
Okay.
from EO. So
Okay.
are you part of
Yeah.
EO?
No, he wants me to get into it. So he said I think next year we're going to talk about that.
Cool.
But yeah, so we started with Caesar in February. And just, I remember our very first day with him, I said to my team, I go, you realize we did more in 8 hours with Caesar than we would have done if I was implementing this for maybe 2 years. I mean, it was amazing. So we still got a long way to go. But since February, it's been very good. And Caesar's amazing. I love Caesar.
Caesar's great. I love Caesar. Yeah, he's a great guy. He's been here a couple of times. So I'm part of the same group that he is, the Entrepreneurs Organization, also known as EO, for anyone who's not familiar with it. And he's a trainer that comes up here, used to come up here a lot. Traction. This is me on Tuesday. Gino Wickman, who's very tall, by the way.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, you can see the book right there. He signed the book. Really nice guy. So he was at a conference that I was at, and I stood in line to talk to him for a little bit. So
I'm sure it was worth it.
He's a pretty cool guy. Yeah,
cool.
I'm trying to get him on the podcast. We'll see. But that's interesting. So once we stop recording, I want to ask you some more about the EOS because I'm interested in bringing in somebody, maybe like a Caesar or someone like that. I think that's a really good investment in time and money. So that's cool. I've read the book. My business partner has as well. And each time we read it, we're like, oh yeah, we need to add this or add that.
Right.
But I think it would be good to do it just all at once. So that's really
I'll just tell you briefly for us, it's given us clarity. It's given us clarity as far as how to make decisions. That is, I think I would say, my number one biggest takeaway in our first 6 months. So, right, we make decisions every day. Right? Are they short term? Are they medium term? Are they long term decisions? Whether is it employee? Is it marketing? Is it business? Is it whatever? Right? Is it how we handle our cases? Or do we even take this client on? And everything that we do, I think it goes back to the framework that we have now, which is what's our 1, 3, and 5 year plan, and what do our core values say? And when we look at it and say, is this in alignment with our 1, 3, and 5 year plan? And is this in alignment with our core values? Then the answer is yes. And if it's not, then the answer is no. And it's really simple and really easy. Whereas before, if you asked me, well, Adam, what do you want? I wouldn't be able to define it. Like, I don't know, grow. I don't know, more cases. I don't know, build a cool law firm. Right. So I think that's been the number one biggest takeaway for me.
Yeah. I got a bunch of questions I wanted to get to. We probably won't get to all of them because this is really interesting to me, but you're right. And one of the things that I know that I need to be doing, and I just got back to doing, was writing down my goals. So, and just by writing these down, it's number one, I forgot what some of my goals were. I had to go look them up.
Right.
Yeah. And if you can't remember what your goals are, you're not going to achieve them. So writing them down on a regular basis has helped tremendously. And especially with things like you said, providing clarity. There's a lot of shiny objects that are out there. There's a lot of temptations, right? But if you have goals and you're driving towards those goals, then it becomes easier to say no to those shiny objects that distract you all the time. Is that what EOS has done for you too?
Yeah. And I have that habit of, kind of being the visionary and liking the marketing or loving the marketing. So I'll hear something like, ooh, let's do this. And they're like, but wait a minute, we already have our quarterly rocks, Adam. Is this really that important, or are you just excited about something new? So it just, right. And sometimes I say, no, this, like when Google local service ads came out last year, that was, we need to do this immediately. And then bunch of other things. It's like, okay, yeah, it seems kind of cool, but you guys are right. We don't have the capacity for it right now, or it may not move the needle right now. So let's hold off. Let's not forget about it, but let's hold off a little bit and just see where things go.
Yeah. Yeah. Great. So you mentioned LSAs, the Google product for local service ads. What are some different ways that you get clients right now?
Great question. So we have a lot through digital. So really, I look at it as two silos. We have digital, and then we have relationship marketing, right? Referrals. So in the digital, our website performs very well. We have a ton of great content on there. We're always trying to add more content. So just still a lot from organic SEO, really focusing on the long tail stuff. We have some really good articles, FAQs that perform very well. I've never ever done pay-per-click, but we've been doing local service ads since the very beginning, since they came out to Lawyers, which I think was last August. It's not going as well as it was a few months ago, and especially in the beginning, but it's still going fairly well. I mean, it's still going well enough that we're using it and we're getting a nice ROI on it. And we do a lot with YouTube. One of our big goals is to do even more and more with YouTube, and we've gotten some cases recently from it. And with YouTube being the world's second largest search engine, it's pretty cool when you do a whole video series on assault and battery in Florida, and then if you Google or put into YouTube assault and battery lawyer in Florida, not only are we number one, but I think we're 1 through 10 because we did a whole series on it. So we're 1 through 10 for that search, and it's just now it's finding the time to replicate that with 50 other crimes and FAQs and just all the content that we want. So that we do a real good job on the digital aspect, and then we have a lot of other things that we do. Just with our herd, our group, our people. We do a mailed monthly newsletter. We do email newsletters. We really try to stay in touch with our people multiple times a month. We do social media, a few other things as well.
Good. And what are your plans for the next couple of years, say 2 to 5 years?
Yeah. So right now, our main office is in Fort Lauderdale, and we have satellite offices in Boca and Sunrise. And Sunrise used to be the original office before we moved out and kept it as a satellite. So within the next 3 months, we're going to be turning our satellite Boca office into a real, another fully staffed office location. And we're very excited about that because we already have a lot of cases in Palm Beach County right now, but we want to have our own, real physical footprint, not just, like an on-call place, and have it staffed. Yeah. So we've seen that there's the market definitely needs us and is begging for us to be there. So we're going to be there, and we're going to move north into that. We've talked about adding other practice areas. I don't think we're going to do that just yet. Criminal's our baby. We love criminal law. We love helping people. And I still believe there's a lot more that we can do by going deeper with our marketing and expanding geographically. So that's going to be something big. And we've already started, expanding into federal criminal defense, white collar as well, which we didn't really do before. So that's getting off the ground. And in the last 6-7 months, it's going pretty well. Nice.
Okay. So to summarize, sticking with your current practice areas for the most part, but expanding geographically, that's kind of the play going forward.
Right. Well, look, right. You get oil by drilling deep, not wide. So we're drilling deep as we can here in Broward County and Fort Lauderdale. We already have relationships in Palm Beach County. I'm well versed there. One of the other lawyers in the firm is very well versed and has a lot of connections and relationships there. And I actually live in Palm Beach County, so it's just kind of the natural progression. It's one thing when you have a satellite office kind of on demand when you can meet with people, and it's another when, no, wait a minute, we're here, we're from here, we have our footprint, and then we can really market to that and go deep there, right? Because if you can go deep, if you have multiple oil wells or oil drills and you're drilling deep multiple locations, obviously that's better than just having one.
Curious about the satellite offices. Do you have people nearby that can show up, or would you have to drive there yourself?
Well, we'd have to drive there. I mean, so I live in Boca, so whenever I meet with a client there, I try to do it either on the way home, either in the morning or in the afternoon, make it easy. Our Sunrise office is also 20 minutes away, so it's not like we're at a point yet where we have a satellite office 2 hours away. Or in Orlando. We don't have that. Yeah.
I got you.
Logistically, I don't know how we'd even do that at this point. So,
that becomes a challenge when you start getting far away from home. Yeah,
right. Well, even like the people that have a Regis or whatever, they've never been there. It's like, okay, if you actually meet with a client. Now, of course, Zoom's made it easier, but if you meet with a client there and you're trying to print up a contract or something and you don't even know how their printer works. To me, it's always seemed very odd, right? Is this really your office or not? So that's why obviously we have, that never happens to us in our 2 other locations, but we want a place where it's legitimately home,
Yeah,
a second home.
definitely. No, I get it. Yeah, it's a big difference. So let me ask you a little bit about your marketing. So we're a digital marketing agency that focuses on law firms. So we're always interested in knowing what is something that is working especially well right now in your marketing, and what is something that hasn't worked all that great that you've either walked away from or will be tapering back soon.
Right. As far as didn't work well for us, for years and years, I resisted doing, and I guess this isn't digital, but I resisted doing the jail mail, and the the public records direct mail. And then last year, I said, what, let's try it. I know a bunch of people that get a really good ROI, and for us, it just and we spent a lot of time crafting our message to be different, because I've always felt that the jail mail is a race to the bottom. DUI is starting from $4.99, felonies starting from $9.99, and to me, it's like, is that a source of, like, when somebody gets that, are they going to be excited that you're telling them how cheap you are, right, when they need you? So we crafted our message completely differently about value, right, about our skill and ability and value. And we took a long time. We had to get it all Florida bar approved, which took forever. And we only tested it for about 3 months, but it just didn't give us anywhere near the ROI that our digital did, or just our, based on our network, our referral system and sources. So we just kind of scrapped it pretty quickly. The calls that we got were still not our typical clients. And we represent all types of people, but, we try to represent, and it's not just rich, right? I never wanted to be the lawyer that only represents, wealthy people, but it was just a lower quality of client. We just, it wasn't our vibe. So we scrapped that pretty quickly. So that didn't really work. Most of the digital stuff that we do actually works. So actually pure digital. So yeah, I mean, for us, we love putting out content. We're at a point now to grow from 6 to 12 in such especially for criminal law, such a short period of time, that I want to keep the gas on the pedal. I don't want to go slow anymore. We're now, in my opinion, I think we have, we're the largest criminal firm in that's a non-ticket firm in Broward County. And, I want to keep going. We're talking about getting some outsourced, content writing, or, just, I want to keep going. I mean, I'd love to build a marketing team of 5 people. If we can support that, obviously, because I have a lot of ideas, and some suck. Some are like, oh, that's great, and then you kind of have to put that on hold and think about it for a few weeks. But I want to be fast. I want to be agile. I want to say, hey, if I want to do something, and even if y'all think it's crazy, let's just do it. I don't want to have to wait or go slow anymore, because I think we're at a position in the market where we can do that. And if you look at companies, not law firms, but real like companies or tech companies, the ones that just get a minimum viable product out there and are agile and can move fast and that aren't spending, too long in research and development, they're the ones that usually get to the top. I mean, we all remember, anybody, your age, my age, we all know the first iPhone was terrible. It didn't even have copy and paste functionality, right? BlackBerry was a far superior product, but they got it out to market. It was sexy, it was cool, it was new, and everything that people bitched and complained about, they put it in the second one, and it just got better and better and better. And imagine if they waited 2 more years, right, to constantly refine. So I want us to go fast with all of our marketing now.
You and me both. I want to go fast. I push real hard, and it's never fast enough, right? And we have good people. I'm sure you do too. But you always want more out of your firm. Well, I do. I know you do. I think some people are also comfortable where they're at. They may not push, but when you start to realize that if you can push all the time, like you did in the early days of COVID, when you just changed your mind, it's a mindset, right? And you commit. Once you commit, you can make it happen. So Yeah, we're always looking for more and more and more. That's for sure. It's a
Right.
good mindset to have, though.
Right. Well, right. And it's not for everybody too, which is perfectly fine, right? Everybody needs to, have their own, that's why you have a vision and that's why you have your plans, because whatever you want, I believe you will get. Whatever you put out there in the world will come to you, whether it's the law of attraction or whatever people want to call it. I firmly believe in that. I firmly believe there's opportunities every day, to be successful or to make a change. And you just have to be in the right mindset at the right time and seize that opportunity and put it out in the universe. So that's what we do.
I completely agree. I love it, Adam. If people would like to reach out to you and pick your brain, or maybe they have a case for you, what's a good way for them to get in touch with you?
Yeah, absolutely. So our office number is 754-206-6200. Our website's rossenlawfirm.com. So it's ROSSEN lawfirm.com. I love meeting people, love talking to people about, whether it's law, whether it's marketing, this stuff. Our mission is, we help good people when bad things happen. So, we're all about just, talking to people and helping them out.
All right. Thanks, Adam. All right, everybody. If you would like to watch or listen to more episodes like this with America's top managing partners, you can check out our library of past episodes, over 100 at this point, at arraylaw.com/podcast. And if you are looking to increase your digital marketing value for your law firm, you can go to arraylaw.com. We will explain our website, SEO, online advertising, and social media services. All right, Adam. Thanks so much.
Thanks for having me.
You got it.